Hello everyone, this is Chris from Actual Fluency coming at you with another review video. Today I'm taking a look at the updated Fluent in 3 months premium membership. And for those of you who don't know, Benny Lewis and his Fluent in 3 months blog was actually a huge inspiration for me getting started in language learning. I was kind of, depressed and down and didn't know what to do with my life. And I discovered Fluent in 3 months, and I just read every article on the site. And he's been blogging for about 8 years, so there are a lot of articles there and many great ones. And I was just like, wow, you can actually do this. You can become a language learner, basically. So for me, Fluent in 3 months and Benny's work will always hold a very dear place in my heart. But let's take a look at what you can get for the premium membership. And the price for the premium membership right now is $97. And the cool part about that is that it's completely one time only. So that means that it's not $97 a month or something like that. It's a $97 and you get free updates for life. And seeing as it was just updated to 2.0, which includes a lot of new stuff, it's more organized now. Basically, the value is pretty incredible, I think, considering. And a small thing, by getting access to the site, you also get access to his help team where you can just ask them any question. So, as a you can consult with experts here as well. But let's take a look, sort of with fresh eyes. I've checked it out a little bit because it came out recently, but I haven't really, dived in that deep. So let's check it out. So the big difference, and obviously there's a video here. I've seen the video, and it's, Benny being Benny. And the cool part is that it now offers sort of a path, whereas before the premium membership used to be sort of a collection of resources, and now it's more of a path. So you take a linear path and you learn all the tricks and tricks of the trade. And of course, the tricks are to become a language hacker, which means you speak the foreign language that you're learning very quickly. Because you take a lot of shortcuts. And of course, some people don't like that too much. Some people say, well, if you do this, you're sort of becoming a walking around phrase book. You're sort of, not really learning the language, and you're definitely not learning how to read or write usually. But anyway, I think there is a lot of value in getting far ahead in your target language quickly. And I think for most people, the biggest difficulty with learning a new language would be to speak it with native speakers. And this is exactly what Benny Lewis is focused on. So let's check out how we do that. So obviously, Stream 1 language learning. Hacking a language is all about finding the easiest and quickest way to learn a language. Spent over a decade discovering and developing advanced language hacks that anyone can use. Okay, so there's some things here in this section. Let's just give it a quick look. I don't want to make a 20-minute video, but there's a little introduction here. And then you get access to the Speak from Day One video course, which I have seen, which is a whole week. Well, a whole week. It's 7 days of videos, 7 different videos. And it teaches you basically how to go from not knowing anything in the language to be able to go out and speak to a native speaker. And of course, you're not going to have a long and winded discussion about politics or anything like that, but you can actually get ridiculously far just in 1 week, and you can be complimented on how well you speak the language. And the benefit of this is that you grow a momentum, you get a win, which makes you work harder on the language. So even though you might say, well, I only learned a few sentences to go out and speak, that momentum can really push you forward to really learn much more in the language. So it's not just that you learn how to go out and speak to a native speaker within a week, it's also that you get that momentum going, which is really important because motivation is so difficult in language learning. But let's just take a quick look anyway. Right, so you get the 8 modules on how to speak a language in a week, and you can see what they're called here. And once you go through that, he checks out premium videos. So here you have some guide videos, setting up language exchanges, how to use italki, create your starter script, pod 101, how I make them as a memorize, using apps to hold yourself accountable. And these are basically just tutorials on how to become a better language learner. And then you can check out some masterclass videos. These are actually really cool. I mean, look at these people here: Richard Simcott, Luca Lampriello, Anthony Lauder, Idauza Ness, and Alex Rawlings. I mean, these are the best of the best, and they have really good tips and tricks to share as well. And I've seen all these, and they're very good interviews. And he wants to, I think Benny over time wants to add more interviews and more resources for you, and probably more extended interviews with these people as well. And then you have a few of the same, but only in audio. There's Professor Akels. I'm not sure how to pronounce that actually. Sorry. Damien Elms. Wow, the creator of Enki. That's pretty cool. That's very interesting. I haven't seen these yet. 18 months immersing Fluent. Wow, 18 months. 18 months of learning Japanese in Utah, and then you get a job. Moses, of course, a legend among online language learners. Scott Young, great documentary. He did a year without English, which was learning 4 languages, and you can read about that here. He learned 4 languages in a year with his friend. Studio Raj, another legend. I mean, the amount of information you get with just the videos and the audios here is almost worth the price of admission. But of course, not to toot my own horn, but I have a podcast where I talk to a lot of these people, and you can find that at afpodcast.com. You can listen to the episodes for absolutely free. So, I don't have all these great people yet, but I'm definitely looking to find them. Okay, so that was, I've already spent like 7 minutes talking, and we're only at the first part. So this is, obviously lots to go with here. And one thing that it doesn't show up here, but over here you can see the conversational connectors. This is actually a concept I heard from Anthony Lauder, which is really cool. But what it does is, and these are all the languages they're available in, what these connectors do is that they basically improve your language so fast that you don't understand it. It's like, because imagine that you're just learning English, and I ask you, where are you from? You can say Denmark, just one word. You can say, I am from, maybe. But if you have to sort of give an answer, you can give these sentences, and there's somebody drilling downstairs, typical. You can give these answers, and let's just check out one for, I'm doing Hungarian at the moment, but I mean, that's a little bit, well, let's try Esperanto. That's fun. And here are the connectors. So basically you can see these are a ton of sentences, and what I'm doing with Hungarian right now is that I'm taking each of these, they're not entirely full sentences, they're just, connectors as they're called. What I'm doing is I'm creating a full sentence with each of them and then putting it into my memorized deck. So I'll learn all of them in connection with something that I'd actually like to say. So you can see the examples here, and honestly, these connectors are really valuable, but you can see, to tell the truth, so instead of just saying, if somebody asks you, do you like to eat meat, and you can, instead of just saying no, you can actually add some more words, and it's a filler. They're all filler words, but if you listen to how I speak right now, most of the language that I'm speaking is just filler. Not much of it is exactly on point, and maybe that's because I have a rambling style of speech, but basically you'll sound a lot more fluent a lot quicker if you learn some of these. You don't have to learn all of them, but learn one from each. So for instance, in my opinion, that's something that you'd say all the time. Something like, understandably, I would like to know that. I'd like you to know that. Yeah, sorry. I was just reading at the Esperanto and it didn't make any sense. But anyway, so you get all these for all these languages. And like I said, I think there's a huge resource. And they're just getting some Facebook, which is annoying. But anyway, I don't know how to disable that. They started doing these stupid notifications. But anyway, so this is what you get. This is the meat of the premium membership. The bonus is... here's the language immersion, which is obviously the next step. Let's just take a look. Here's Benny. He's playing over my speakers, of course.
You only need to do 3 things to learn a language with the language hacker's mindset. Number 1, Speak everything you learn out loud right from the start.
Okay, well, anyway, this is the immersion part. So let's say I'm learning German, which I am not. And then it shows you a sample daily schedule of how to study, which is really cool. Because honestly, I hate coming up with this on my own, which is really annoying. You know, you have to sit and do all this. So if you just actually just copy this, it'll be very efficient. This is probably a little bit hardcore for most people, but you can create your own at some point on the website. And then it gives an ultimate resource list, which is really cool. I mean, I really enjoyed this on the old site. I remember this. And it's just like there are so many links and tricks and tips and all these resources to 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 learn a language. All these resources. I mean, you'd be surprised at how quickly, or I mean, how long it takes to find all these places. So that's what you get for the immersion part. And the your routine is basically what we just saw an example of. So you can create your own. And it's good to create a routine. And you can see it also coaches you along the way. And the last part is sort of a library. So in the library, we've got the language hacking guide, which is the original product from Benny Lewis when he made it, I mean, it must be like 5 or 6 years ago. He sold it as a PDF on his website for, I think, $50, maybe even $100. And now you can just download it. And it's basically the predecessor to the Fluent in 3 Months book, which many of you have probably read. And so there's some more resources here. Right, more resources. And you can read the director's cut, which for every chapter in the book, he's done some notes and some links. From fluency to mastery, let's just test it. So you find all these stuff, right? So I hope that made sense. This is the Fluent 3 Months Premium. And of course, the last part, which I mentioned earlier, is if you need help, you can ask Joe, who's a really cool guy, by the way. I've met him. You can ask him about anything, and he will answer you. He's kind of a language encourager full time. So, or maybe not full time, but that's his job anyway. He'll answer your questions, any questions you might have. So, with all that in mind, I honestly think that the premium Fluent 3 Months is a great resource, and now it's really well built in the sense that you're sort of on a path to fluency instead of before just having all the information available, which seemed really overwhelming. So yeah, if you want to learn a language, want to become a language hacker, I strongly suggest checking out Fluent in 3 Months Premium. And I have to say I'm an affiliate for Benny Lewis, but as I mentioned earlier in the video, I'm a huge fan, and discovering his work really changed my life. So I hope that it can change your life as well. But if you're interested in becoming a premium member, you can click right here on the screen, somewhere around here maybe, and it will take you right to the registration page where, like I said, $97 one-time payment. I honestly think that's a good value for all this information, endless information. And if you're an aspiring polyglot like myself, you can see that there are lots of languages as well. Just for the immersion, you have these languages, which are some of the big languages, but also for these connectors, there were even more languages. So it's not like if you're just learning Spanish, it's an investment just for that language. You can use it for all these languages here. And I know Benny has plans to add more stuff down the line, which makes the $97 a better deal, actually. You can see that the people who signed up last year to Premium 1.0 got a lot of value out of that, and then he updated it to 2.0, and it didn't cost them anything to get all this great new stuff. So this has been Chris from actualfluency.com, and let me know in the comments if you're a premium member. Otherwise, I hope to see you on the inside, and as always, happy learning, and take care.